Cool. Hey, Shandy. Good to see you this evening. Shandy Warhol. And thank you. I appreciate you. Whoa. Pretty easy to clean up these edges because this layer underneath is pretty dry. So if I make a little error with the lines, I can just touch them up real fast. Because I want them to be like pretty thin. Not all of them, but some of them. But we can even add, if you want to get crazy, you can start adding little highlights to these wires if you want to get super funky, which we do. We do. We're in the real fun stage because it's just really adding some pretty crazy highlights. Take your time. Get your brush right. You can fix it up, so it's not the end of the world. But take your time. Make them pretty consistent. You don't want like highlights all over the place. You want them to have some uniformity, some consistency. This is a bit of a tamed down highlight, so we might add like some pure white later. This is like a yellow white, cream white. Kind of calm this down a little bit. I added some more cream and that seemed like a lime green. So I still want really bright value, but not the wrong tone. There you go. Get back to these highlights, just make sure they're in a good spot. Hey everyone. Hey Maria. You too, Shandy. Thanks, Maria. Everything is wet. This is wet, this is wet, this is wet. So I gotta be careful. I want to close this painting. If possible. I think I can. I want those highlights to be pretty reflective. I want them to be a nice, not necessarily square either, just looks like we're adding some brightness to the robot teeth. It's fine. Again, this is a very traumatic scene, so there's a lot going on. There's a lot of regret. There's some embarrassment because the robot parents have failed yet once again. I think these are going to be kind of pretty, whoa. That's an immediate eject. Let's eject from that right fast. Kind of dry it up because I want to try that again. That's just the brush has too much thinner on it. Not enough paint. So you want these crispy little telephone lines or cables, sorry. It'll probably curve up here. And we want to meet, we kind of want to meet them up there. As kind of challenging as these little wires are, they're very forgiving too though. So after you do them a few times, you kind of learn what you can get away with. And see that doesn't connect, that's cool. I like that look. They don't have to like visibly connect to know that they are connecting. Gives them that thinness appeal. You do kind of want like, you don't want like bumps. You don't want them to be jagged. I don't. I think I like them to be clean, straight lines and or like gradual curves. I like that the best. These are probably connected too. Got sidetracked. That's my whole MO, get sidetracked. As long as you're painting. Sidetrack sometimes just gives you enough time to think. Kind of helps you prevent some errors perhaps. The illusion of the cables is fun. Probably one behind, you can't see where it starts, right? But we'll go this way. You like cables, that's for sure. Oh, add a finishing touch here. Right? There is a rhyme and a reason for this little stick. Kind of like analog, futuristic, cyberpunk little things. Bring some shadow in there. Kind of really goes well with the little highlight, right? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. There you go. Woo. Careful of your lines. You don't want to smudge them. We'll keep with some of the theme and add a little highlights to them so that they're not, just give them a little life. You can also calm down some of your mistakes. Like if some of this line looks a little fat, you just add a little highlight in there. Works well. And then one of the tricks too is you don't want them all just black cables, right? So you bring in some other colors. Remember, not too much thinner. Dry your brush off and then put it back in the paint. Fix up your little fire. Touch it a little. Again, we're in like detail, fun mode. You're just adding to what you've built. Almost like a facade of a house or something. If you're not feeling them, you can abandon it too, right? And you just saw me, especially around this area, they're not easy to fix up. Go back over. Make sure you find a brush you really like, you trust. Brushes become more important the longer you paint. Certain brushes work with you versus against you. I have favorite brushes for sure. There's just some details in there. Give these eyes a little life, especially around the pupils. You can also like create more illusion by just like adding. They don't have to go anywhere, right? Like I just want to bring out here because I just want them to go off the canvas. Nice and thin. But that's not gonna, I'm not gonna go any further with that. I like these yellow lines, so we're gonna try to pick my places here a little bit. I don't want to be sloppy. Put some more paint on there. We're gonna come out. And we're gonna come over. Fix that up, no problem. Just kind of want it to seem like it's coming down the floor. Do a little clean up there. Just honestly, sometimes you're just cleaning up for yourself. No one really gives a shit. Just want it to look good. Somewhat clean lines. If you really want to get crazy, you gotta pick up some of the old color of the floor. Clean that up. That's okay, we can do that. Pretty easy. This is from earlier today, the floor color. I have some left on my palette. This one needs some more defining lines, so like I found that yellow to be a little bit, how do you say, hidden or not very distinguished, so. Being careful where I touch, a lot of the canvas is wet. We're gonna put a line here. Now we're coming down into the mayhem. These are powered by wires, so let's put a little thing there to make it look like it's connected to something. Now, while we're over here, we'll get her eyes going. Mom's eyes. Mom bought. So I purposely put the highlight on the left side of the sphere because there's more to work with. Sometimes you got to make some things easy for yourself. Take your time. You can exaggerate. These look good. Remember, I want to play with that pupil a little bit. It's hard here because, again, everything is very wet. I want some highlights going on here. You gotta be pretty stable when you paint certain things. Otherwise you can make a mistake. Which again is not the end of the world, but I kind of over the stage of making mistakes if I can avoid it. And I think there's definitely times in the painting where more mistakes can be made, and there's times in the painting where less mistakes are actually like you can kind of anticipate when mistakes are going to be made versus when are when you're going to be able to dodge it. Because you're going slow, you have a small brush. It's pretty hard to make a mistake unless you slip or something like absurd. See, it's fun, like it's fun bringing it to life. It's the little things sometimes, but it takes a while before you can get these little things going. Give it time so that you can get to this point where it's just fun. Again, it's pretty hard to make a mistake too, right? You see it, just do it. Just do it. Looks good. It looks good. I like it. You can add too much. Don't do that. Be calm, gentle, relax, take it easy. Some backlighting here. Remember, you added some highlights on those other wires. Let's get that going. I don't know where this is going. We'll add it now. We'll add some little circuit breakers or something, you know what I mean? Those little things. Make sure they're like cylinders. Take your time. Right? Looks like the wires have more purpose, right? Clean up a little stuff. I don't see anything like I despise either anymore, which is good. Like, as you get closer to a finishing spot, you shouldn't have any areas where you hate or like you don't like it. I'm not there anymore. We'll take another go with that. Yeah, so I've said this story a few times, and if you heard it already, then I apologize. But these are the robot parents. And it all starts with the relationship with the robot, which, you know, the majority of society will snicker at and laugh, right? The movie that came out 10, 15 years ago with Joaquin Phoenix called Her, where he falls in love with his robot. But we're entering a time where that's going to be more and more common. And then there's going to be a period where people actually get married to their robots. And at first, the first people to do that will laugh at them. But then it'll become more and more common. And then there'll be relationships that, you know, marriages with the robots. And then those, they won't obviously be able to bear children, so they'll have test tube babies, like babies that are created in a lab for these relationships, right? And you'll have one parent that's a human being and one parent that's a robot. And that's the beginning of the robot parents. And then at that point, robot parents and robots in general will have more rights. Again, will be laughed out of the room in the beginning, but soon as society continues this trend and this direction rather, the rights of robots will be more and more enforced. And then, why do you even need humans to begin with? So what they'll do is they'll just be two robot parents that raise the children. They'll still have like human children, but they're going to be raised by robot parents. Robot parents. That's the origins of this painting. That's why I'm doing this. I'm just letting you know that robot parents are coming sooner than later. You can see the progression that I just laid out. Just notice that some of these lines are pretty finicky, so we'll give it a little more attention this time. Thanks, Theo. Thanks, Lily. Careful when you're putting these lines in. Really work this on. Actually, not that. So I feel like this line's a little fat, right? So all you have to do is add a little highlight in some of these areas, and it gives it more meaning, and then you lose the emphasis on, oh, it's too fat, looks kind of odd. Let's add a little bit of, ooh, that's a mistake. Let's calm it down. That's it. Just calm it down. Calm down. Easy to fix your mistakes. I'll add a bit of highlights because, again, this line was fat, but I went with it, and then just fix it up with making it like more three-dimensional. That's it. I'm okay with like a fat wire. These things they need a lot of energy. Emphasize that curve. That's it. But we will put a little plug on it because sometimes it's just like you have to have a bit of a vision, because what are they doing? Well, they're just providing energy, or they're connected to something. Well, how do they connect? Show that. This is a bigger wire, so it has a bigger connector. Like everything kind of has some pseudo logic. If it works for you, that's good enough. But I think it's versus having some pseudo logic makes more sense to me than just like if I just left that wire without some way to attach, like it just goes in. I feel like it's a little bit sloppy on my part. That's why I do it. Don't want to be sloppy. She's dry, so I'll just gently touch her so I can put these back highlights on there. Down here too. There's like a ring that goes around. So also play around with these. They're not just hollow, they do something. This is where I might have to get a little sloppy. What do these things do? I don't know. Let's give a little flair. I'm not sure what these are offering. It reminds me of one song, "The Internet Killed the Radio Star," where the internet replaced the radio and the cable, so it's covered up. And now it will be robots. Instead of humans making the cartoons or whatever, they take over. I will be smart and learn how to hack the system and radio waves and Bluetooth services. Yeah, these are like Bluetooth robots for sure. Bluetooth. Oh God. Who would ever thought Bluetooth lasted this long? It's kind of impressive. Bluetooth. These are Bluetooth cyborgs for sure. You can even go the other way, right? So make some of these lines a little darker in areas. Not everywhere. You want to be selective. I think that's a good word, selective. Ooh. Ooh. Now let's start playing around down here. This is a little harder for me because everything is wet. Let's just start touching up. I want to finish this today, so start touching things up. Make them make sense, even though it's basically abstract. You gotta make these make sense. Robot parents. So I found this, I've put on so many coats of this yellow, and actually I'm not that impressed with it, but that might be, this yellow might be the oil paint. And not just being translucent or something. I mean, like, if this was a better brand of yellow oil paint, it might have come together quicker for me. Does that mean you should buy expensive oil paints? Sometimes, especially for certain colors and stuff. Some colors are just made to be mixed with other colors. But then there's some strong, bold colors that you want. And if you want to have like a sky blue that you're going to be using straight out of the tube with a little thinner and medium, you probably want a more expensive paint. Or if a color that you're going to be using a lot, like a titanium white, I usually grab the better brand because I know I'll be using that a lot, and it's going to go in a lot of different colors. Like, it's going to be one of the main colors that I mix with. You want a good paint. But then I have some like hot neon pinks that are just like fun colors that I don't care if they're cheap. And sometimes the cheap colors are just as good. Just depends. This yellow, I find, didn't work with me exactly how I wanted, so I had to put on a lot of coats. Kept coating it, and then still not see anything. Now it's like the fourth or fifth time I've worked on this yellow. So I've added more white and less medium. So that, in this case, you'd call it definitely a lot, very fat, a lot of paint. No medium, if possible. I just want the color to show up really well. But I don't want to have to go over it and go over it. Right, like that little mark there, that's it. I don't want to do it again. You also need to be able to cover up some of the darker shades and stuff with a yellow, and a strong, pricier yellow can do that easier. I think I'm gonna go buy a more expensive yellow probably this week and see if I'm correct in my assessment. Does a more expensive yellow achieve better results than a cheap oil paint, a cheap yellow? I'm guessing yes. So I think some of the life will come when I start shading a little bit too. Take your time. Get some paint on there, see what happens. Just shading some of the yellow. Just adding some dimension in here and some body parts are behind others, and that's when you kind of get more creative. They're not all. There's more dimension here. I do have more mediums, so then if I want to pull back on this a little bit, which I do, a little easier, because we're also blending with the other yellow. Let's pull some color down here. And a little bit of this, like these dark values that I mixed, like I just mixed a little bit, but it's gonna go a long way. I don't need a lot of paint for this. In fact, less is more. Just adding a little. And I've painted The Simpsons a lot over the years, so I'm kind of familiar with like the idea of how they shade things. Like they just shade kind of close to the edge, and they still typically have like the black outline in general. Sometimes they don't, but in general they do. Just the defining qualities of The Simpsons. Good to know when painting like a dissected Simpsons character. We'll add some darkness here. Not black, just some darker values in the low spots. If it's not dark enough, just leave it for now and come back. Some of the songs are louder than others, huh? At least there's no commercials today. Sometimes the shadows only work when you add more shadow, like a darker value around it. Sometimes you're just kissing things. I think the more things have been kissed, the better they look. Other times, it's better to leave things untouched. Like if you have some good solid lines, some good solid blocks of color, leave them alone. But the only way in order to finish this painting is to give this disembowelment a good send-off by finishing it and finishing it right. It just takes some, you need to put some time and energy and some care. Looks like a little willy. And maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Now again, when you're dealing with yellow, you kind of don't want just like a black in there. You want like a red black. Works better with the yellow and the brown. Red black's almost like a dark brown, right? And dark brown is just a variation of yellow. You could use like a dark blue, for example, but that's going to change the feeling for sure. You could use just a black, and then it looks a little bit. It doesn't look like it looks more cartoony, I guess. We're just working ourselves around the painting. Certain things will be more revealed too as I do this, because I want to find maybe a couple more things that I can pull out of here. Same with these red fabric pieces. You can use the same brown for them too, or sorry, the same blacky red that I have. They need to be touched up too. Remember, get your brush right. Get your brush right. Slow down. Kind of like those shadows, so keep it going. Kind of looks like you're above the ground a little bit. Now let's go the other direction and get some yellow highlights going. And that should really bring this to life. This crazy little corpse. Yeah. Remember, relax. And make sure it's yellow. You can mix it with some of the other stuff, but not too much. That seemed pretty bold. This looks like a good mixture, but I want it brighter. Definitely makes it more three-dimensional, right? Things don't have to make sense here, but make shapes stick with the shapes that you see. They're all little shapes, and just work with those. You don't need to redraw something or repaint something, you're just adding depth to the shapes. If they're closer to the ceiling, well then closer to the light source, right? So they're they have a little more highlights. Keep it simple. You're just pretending the light source is from the ceiling. For the most part. But now you have like different shades of yellow, right? With something so abstract like this, you do have a lot of freedom. I'm just kissing everything to make sure that it's all been worked on and it has intention and purpose. So just kiss it. Make those shapes nice and smooth, or again, just and make sure each thing has intention. I'm intending it for it to look this way. That's what you're adding now. Especially with something like abstract. I'm intending it to look this way. It can't look any other way. Because I've set the intention by kissing it and reworking it. What you can do for small things like this is just go straight. Make sure there's a good amount of white on your brush. You can just dab it. It might be a little too much, but that's okay. We'll actually calm that down a little bit. Same with you. This one even gets a little. One reason why I'm putting the date on this one, like the year, is because I painted The Simpsons so many times over the years. So it'll be interesting when I look back and see my progression of The Simpsons. And so if I have the year in there, it's just a little more helpful. Like, oh, that was in 90. That was, sorry, 2025. Oh my God, 2025. And actually, let's get my other camera going. Sorry. There's a little tricky odd spot. So make sure you've got your brush in order. You want to add paint to cover up the mud. If you don't have enough paint like that, you're not going to cover up the mud, and then you make it a little harder for the next pass. Yeah, you see it's a little faint, so you got to kind of keep working it, get some paint on that brush. And so it's easy to release onto the painting. We're just making little teeth here. This will be good. So I really loaded my brush properly. You immediately notice a difference when you load your brush properly. I'm not a fan of these white dots. They didn't kind of do what I thought they'd do, so I'll calm those down. And fix it up by just mixing it in there. If I really don't like it, I'll just add more red, which I will do. Add some Millhouse brows. Also add a little bit of just having a little fun now. Just because I saw this blue over here and I thought it needed a little bit of something. You can even add, where you want to, some real highlights too. I told you the cat comes back every night now. I don't know. I think he really likes our kitty. Whoa! Kind of like it. Thanks, Heart of Mine knows what's up. Good to see you guys. What I might do is, this is me for me, but let's see if we just distinguish Remember, left to right. I was more concerned for up here. That's a mistake. I'm not worried. It's just hard because all the canvas is basically now wet. So one solution would be to do this tomorrow. But it's too late for that. Guess we gotta fix this thing. Same process. Clean the brush with thinner. Right? The background, thank God, is dry enough to handle that. And then you don't have a problem. Just defining the couch, I thought something I always planned on doing, and considering I want to finish now, just thought I would do it. So you'd say, why don't you define this thing? I guess so. Yeah. That one I don't think mattered, but whatever. We'll define this too. this thing. It's probably the best outcome so far of defining stuff. Yeah, words, this is oil. So now we're defining some of these things again. Sometimes this just helps with making things look finished versus unfinished. Just by going around kissing some stuff. I think it's just about, again, its intentionality really shines through when you're painting. The more things that you give attention to, the more the painting looks finished. So sometimes it's just about kissing things to make everything look finished. And let's finish with what I started by really, the main purpose of this painting are these characters here. They are why this painting exists. They are what I wanted to focus on and explore. So the last thing I'm touching on for this painting that I can see is these guys. They're important to me.
Make sure your brush is right. All right, I'll post the video of this piece soon. Gonna work on that now. Thanks for watching.